Hey guys, and welcome to this episode of the Happy Knitting Podcast. My name is Julia, and I'm coming to you from the UK. And today is Friday. It is the 19th of March, 2021. So this is a very spontaneous podcast once again. I just kind of grabbed a couple of things because honestly, the last couple of days I just didn't feel like recording a podcast. There was so much going on both inside and outside of my brain, and I just couldn't do it. But today is a good day. The sun is shining. It is probably shining a bit too much to record in optimal lighting, but who cares? I am joined by my almost 7-month-old. Oh my god. Who's over there in his playpen, and he is very active. He's very much awake, and what he loves to do is climb up and kneel or stand up in his playpen. So you may hear that happening. You may also hear him talking at some point or playing with his toys very loudly, as he likes to do. But we are here. We're here. I have some knitting. I have some spinning. Thank you so much to everyone who said last week that they would like to see some spinning. And we will just give this a go. So the big question, I think, is did I finish my massive colorwork sweater? And guess what, you guys? I did. I finished it, and I can't show it to you. It's been on the blocking mats for about 2 days, and I just picked it up because I thought, I'll bring it over and at least show it to you, even if I'm not wearing it. And it is still completely wet, which I guess isn't surprising because I haven't turned it around, and it is knit completely in colorwork, so it's essentially double knit. Yeah, genau. So unfortunately I can't show it to you today because it's not like a little bit wet, which I could maybe show you. It is dripping wet. We're off to a good start, aren't we? But I'll promise to show that to you next time. And honestly, you guys, it just feels so good to have that sweater done. I mean, I cast it on Christmas Day, so it's been... You want to join the podcast? So I cast it on Christmas Day, so it's been almost 3 months. And I took like 1 week of a break because I needed some needles, which is why I didn't finish it sooner. But here we are, it is done, and I think now we'll move on to things that I can actually show you. Alright, so let's talk about what I've actually been knitting. Like I said, I was waiting for needles to complete my Vanna sweater, so what did I do instead? While I was waiting, I thought about finishing my socks or doing things that I'm supposed to be doing. But instead, of course, I think I mentioned last week that I am planning to knit a Let Lopi sweater. So that's pretty much the opposite of my Vanna sweater in that it's a very thick yarn, it's very rustic, and it would be a very quick project, I thought. So I started on a sweater, and it is pretty far along. Look at this. I'm sorry about the sun, by the way. So I had bought the yarn for this before I decided on the pattern. And the pattern that I went with in the end is a pattern on knitty.com, which is a free pattern. So I think the free English version is on knitty.com. And then there's also an Icelandic version by the same designer, who is Raga Knits, on Ravelry, which I think could be paid for. I'm not sure. But you can get this off Ravelry, which is awesome. And this is called the Idun sweater. I am probably butchering that, so I'm really sorry if there are any Icelandic viewers out there. Please tell me how I pronounce this. It has the funny D. I don't know how to say that. Anyhow, it is a top-down colorwork cardigan, so you can see maybe there's a stick here, so I'm going to cut this open in the end. And besides that, it's a very sort of basic pattern. It's top down. I only used the yoke of the design, and then the original design, I think, kind of flares out and does a bit of an A-line and all sorts of shapings. And I did just my own sort of shaping, so I actually cinched it in a little bit on the body. And I'm doing my own sleeve shaping, so again, I pretty much only used the yoke. I really like the design. It was written for this yarn, which is Let Lopi. I have a ball band here. The sizing and the sizing charts and the measurements and everything were not the best, to be honest. There were some measurements that were just missing, like, for example, the yoke depth, which I really like to check from basically the cast on to where you divide for the sleeves. They just didn't provide any numbers. But it is a free pattern, so I guess I can't complain too much, and I do like the design. I think I knit the yoke within 24 hours because it was really fun. It went really quickly. Obviously, this being a quite heavy yarn, I'm not sure if this is a DK or probably more like a worsted or Aran. I have no idea. Anyways, yeah, so that's what I'm doing. The only problem is, this is the only amount of yarn I have left for my main color. And then I have this one ball for my contrast. So like I said, I purchased the yarn before deciding on the pattern, and I was originally going to do a 3-colored yoke, which is why once I decided to only use 2 colors, I kind of ran out. Not sure what's going on. Let's have some coffee. I think some fluff is just somehow stuck in my throat. So I am playing Intense Yarn Chicken, which is why there are needles. There are 3 needles in this. There's 1 needle on the cuff, which I think is finished, but it depends. If I have some blue yarn left over, I might make those cuffs a bit longer. Then I have a needle on the bottom of the sweater, which just needs the ribbing, which is going to be in this color. And then I have my last blue ball, which is going to be used up pretty much entirely by this second sleeve. And then I also need to use this blue yarn to finish my stick and possibly do a button band. So I will work it out. I have it all under control. Usually I would just buy another ball of yarn, but I'm kind of trying not to buy yarn at the moment, and I don't really want to break that promise for 1 ball of yarn. So I think I'm just going to be scrappy with this and try to make it work, and we will see how it goes. But that's where we are with that. I am very excited about this, and this is a garment that I very much just want to wear. I just need a thick cardigan to throw over when I don't want to wear a proper jacket. I made it a cardigan especially because I like to do baby wearing with my baby. And obviously that is much easier with a cardigan, and yeah, so that is that. And we're back, and this may well be the most complicated podcast episode I've ever recorded. I might have to cut it short, we'll just see how it goes, but someone is very much not wanting to be by himself right now, and yeah, we'll just see what happens. Anyhow, I wanted to very quickly show you my socks for our current knit along, which is the Happy Socks KAL. Happy Socks Cal. So it is a knit along for all of my sock patterns that I've published both on Ravelry and PAYHIP. So there will be links to those below the video. And what I'm doing is I am knitting a second version of my Smoky cable socks. So the Smoky cable socks is the last pattern that I came out with a couple of weeks, if not months ago. I think it was in February. And I am using a fade to do it. So I'm not really doing a true fading, because I think true fades would be either marling yarns, so holding a couple of yarns together to make them blend into each other, or alternating them, so essentially striping them. And what I'm doing is I am pretty much just color blocking them, but I am using them in a sort of faded order, and the yarns are leftovers from my advent calendar from Pixie Yarns. Alright, so I just show those to you very quickly, and I think then if someone doesn't calm down a bit, I may have to just end the podcast here today. We'll just see how it goes. But can you see where I am with them? So I'm doing them 2 at a time, cuff down, as they're written for cuff down in the pattern. I just decided to do them 2 at a time. And And you can see I've made some good progress on them. So I am now doing the toes. Honestly, I had one more mini to go, so I could have made them even longer, but I don't know. I mean, I like my color choices, but I don't love them anymore, and I was just kind of done with them. So I decided to put in the toes, and then I'll do my afterthought heels, which are also in the pattern, and then these will go on my feet, which I'm very excited about. I do like the look of the speckled yarn. I'm just not sure if I like the sort of pastel color palette that I've chosen for this one. But yeah, here we are. I still really am enjoying the pattern, if I may say so myself. So you can kind of get an idea of it here, but it will only really look that nice once they're either blocked or on my feet, which is the most important thing. So here we are with my Smoky cable socks, the faded version. And yeah, I used about 10 grams per color. And I think we're done for today. So I am very sorry, this was very chaotic, but at least you got some knitting content. I do have a ton of spinning right in front of me. I will show that to you next time. So until I see you again, thank you so much for watching. I will see you very soon.